In the holiday 17, back with another EP. Y'all do go favor, y'all smash that like button for your boy. I ain't gonna keep y'all in this thing too long. Here with a bit of information to you, right? I got some news that I want to drop on y'all real quick. We're in the midst of Devin Haney versus Lomachenko, right? This past weekend. And leading up into the fight, there was a lot of build up, a lot of interest in this fight, as it should. This fight most definitely did deliver, right? Going into it, you had some people picking Loma, had some people picking Devin, and I would say they did everything and some. You know what I mean? It ended up being an extremely close fight, right? Outside of one judge, having in a wide margin, both judges scored it for Devin Haney, right? 7-5. Now, leading up until this fight with Lomachenko and Devin Haney, you had a lot of people asking, well, what's next? If Devin is to win, what's next? If if Devin is to win, what's next? Just kind of like when Gervonta Tank Davis had fought, Ryan Garcia. People was asking him about Devin Haney immediately after his fight. Well, guess what? Immediately after Devin Haney's fight, they asked him about Gervonta Tank Davis, right? Gervonta Tank Davis and Devin Haney kind of been linked, for a couple of years now. And it ain't something that they should be trying to get away from, right? It ain't something that I want them to get away from. It's actually a fight that I'm highly interested in, right? And if I remember correctly, right before Gervonta Tank Davis faced off against signed to fight Hector Garcia, he said, he got a lot of backlash for fighting Hector Garcia and signing to fight Ryan Garcia back to back, right? Everybody was saying, why they couldn't be Shakur or Devin Haney, or Shakur and Devin Haney, right? And Gervonta Tank Davis, back against the wildfire to defeat, not against his own will, right? But people were starting to put their public pressure on him. He was like, man, you know what, bro? I done knocked out Devin Haney and Shakur Stevenson in sparring, so it ain't gonna be nothing for me to fight them. Matter of fact, I'm gonna fight them after I fight Garcia and Garcia. So he fought Garcia and Garcia. He beat both of them, right? He dispatched of them. After his fight with Ryan Garcia, his last fight 2 months ago, they asked him about Devin Haney. Devin Haney actually was in attendance at the Gervonta Tank Davis fight. So they asked Gervonta Tank Davis about Devin Haney after his fight, and Gervonta Tank Davis said, we go let him handle Lomachenko first, right? And then we'll holler at Lil Buddy, right? Well, guess what? Last night, Lil Buddy, he handled Lomachenko, right? Last night, Lil Buddy handled Lomachenko, and they asked Lil Buddy, right, about Gervonta Tank Davis and how he feel about, an up-and-coming fight with Gervonta Tank Davis. If that's a fight he wanted, to happen next. And Devin Haney gave his own opinion on it, right? I thought it was brilliant. You could tell he'd been thinking about it for a second, right? Because he went even deeper, right, than just answering the question. He actually started to talk about, the attendance, ticket sale, the pay-per-view sales, and all that. And what he said, made a lot of sense. So I'm about to show y'all the video, right? I'm about to show y'all the video so y'all can see it for yourself. Y'all don't got to take my word for it, right? You can hear it straight out the horse's mouth himself. So let's get this up. Here we go. Y'all know how I like to do it. Sound on. Here we go.
Around the numbers did very well. Gate did very well. I proved that I'm a drug sport of boxing. I proved that the people want to see me. They come out. And me and Tank is a massive fight. And it's gonna happen sooner than later. Because I know when it happens.
So Devin Haney said right there, he said, I proved that I am a draw. He said the people came out. He said the pay-per-view, is projected to do well. I proved that I am I am a sell, right? And he said him versus Gervonta Tank Davis is going to happen sooner rather than later, right? And I had been telling y'all, right? I had been telling y'all that that fight is a lot closer than a lot of people, really want to give it credit for. Basically, what Devin Haney said right there is I checked off all the boxes, right? Did my first pay-per-view, sold out the arena, right? He said the pay-per-views, projected to do well. He said that Tank fight is going to happen sooner rather than later. He didn't say he wanted it to happen sooner rather than later. Later, he said it's going to happen sooner than later. You know what I mean? I'm going to play it again, right? I'm going to play it again for y'all one more time.
I know when the numbers come out, the numbers did very well. Gate did very well. I proved that I'm a draw in the sport of boxing. I proved that the people want to see me. They come out, they support, and me and Tank is a massive fight, and it's gonna happen sooner than later. Because I know when the number.
He said, me and Tank is a massive fight, right? And it's going to happen sooner than later. But I didn't want to keep up too much of y'all time, right? I've been walking this fight down for a minute, right? I've listened to what Gervonta had to say. He said after Shakur and Ryan Garcia, Devin Haney is after, Devin Haney just beat, he said after Shakur, he said after Hector Garcia and Ryan Garcia, right? Gervonta Tank Davis beat both of them. And then after the fight with Ryan Garcia, Gervonta Tank Davis said, we gonna let him handle Lomachenko first. We gotta see if he handle Lomachenko first. And then I go holler at little buddy. So what Devin Haney said right now, look, we checked out all the boxes. Did y'all see that arena? It was packed. He said he sure the pay-per-views go do well. And him and Tank Davis is bound to happen sooner rather than later, right? So we go keep the fire to both these athletes' feet, right? And we go see what transpires from this. Skin the Hardaway, Southern T. This ain't the past. This ain't the future. But this the present. That's how we rocking. And I'm out. Look. Mm-hmm.